Welcome to the final day in my 7-day Christmas card making series. Today I'm working on Bazzill Kraft cardstock and I've chosen a stamp by Penny Black called Leaping Deer. I'm going to stamp this using Archival ink in potting soil onto the Kraft cardstock, and then I'm going to use a die to cut around this. I've chosen a die by My Favourite Things to cut out my deer with, and this is the pierced rectangle stacks. And here is the deer once it's been cut out. I'm choosing to tear along one of the edges, and then I'm going to sponge around the edges using a piece of Reindeer cut and dry foam and the same Archival ink that I stamped the image with. This is my Itty Bitty stamp set by Stampin' Up, and I'm using the larger of the dotted designs to represent some snow on the card, and to stamp with I'm using Brilliance ink in Moonlight White. To layer my focal image onto, I'm choosing a white linen effect cardstock, and I'm going to punch down one edge using a punch by EK Success. And now I'm attaching the image using Sellotape brand double-sided tape. For an additional layer on the card, I'm going back to the Kraft cardstock and sponging the edges again with the Archival ink that I used previously. This is Stickles glitter glue in the colour Christmas Red, and I'm using this to give the reindeer a shiny red nose. For the sentiment on my card, I've chosen a stamp set by Lily of the Valley of tiny seasonal tags, and I've chosen VersaFine ink in Onyx Black to stamp with. The cardstock that I've chosen is the white linen textured cardstock so that it matches the rest of the card. Once I've cut out the image, I'm sponging around the edges using the same brown coloured Archival ink that I've used throughout the project. And when this is finished, I then attach some cord to the tag. So this is a hemp cord that I tie a knot in to make it look as though the cord is actually threaded through the hole. And I attach it using some glossy accents by Reindeer. Once the glossy accents is dry, I add some 3D foam to the back of the tag sentiment and attach it to my card. For my card base, I've chosen 325 GSM smooth white cardstock, and I've stamped the reverse with my Judikin stamp. I then attach my card front to the base using double-sided tape. For the insert, I've chosen the same die cut shape from MFT, and I'm sponging around the edges using a piece of Reindeer cut and dry foam and the Archival ink in potting soil. When I've finished sponging the edges, I go back to the Penny Black stamp of the reindeer, and again using the Archival ink in potting soil, I stamp this in the lower left hand corner. Next, I go to my Itty Bitty stamp set, and this is the tiny splatters that I've used throughout this series, and add some detail with that before selecting my sentiment. For my sentiment, I've chosen my paper tray ink stamp set, which I've also used throughout this series. And when I've chosen a sentiment, I stamp this using VersaFine ink in Onyx Black over the top right hand corner of the insert. Finally, I'm adding my insert to the card using sellotape double-sided tape, and the project is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this series. It's been a lot of fun to put together, and I hope you'll join me again for my next project, whatever that might be. As usual, there is a link in the video description to the full product list, as well as my social media sites. Thanks for joining me for my Christmas card series 2015.